Which of the following correctly shows the left-hand approximation of the area under the curve, where the curve is designated by f of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 4, on the closed interval 0 through 4 using 5 subintervals? Our first step is to calculate the width of each subinterval, or another way to phrase it would be the width of each rectangle underneath the curve. And to do that, we use delta x is equal to b minus a over n. And just as a quick recap, our value of b is going to be 4. So that's going to go there. Our value of a will be 0. That's going to go here for a. And we have 5 subintervals. That goes in the denominator for n. So we substitute and simplify and get a value of delta x is going to be 8/10. That's going to be the width of each rectangle underneath the curve. Step 2 is we're going to find the vertical length of each rectangle, and that's given by the value of f of x at each interval. Also recall that we are using the LRAM, the left-hand approximation, and this green line crudely represents the curve f of x. So our first rectangle is going to start at the far left side at 0, and the height of that rectangle is going to be as high as the curve. So notice that the left corner of that rectangle is touching the curve, and the width is 8/10. Now my second rectangle is going to start at 8/10, and the height is going to be as tall as the curve on the left side, and it goes as far as 1.6, because if I add 8/10 and 8/10, it gives me 1.6. Our third rectangle starts at 1.6. The height is going to be as high as the curve, so notice the left-hand corner touches the curve, and the width is going to go to 2.4. If I take 1/6 and add 2.4, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. If I take 1/6 and add 0.8, it gives me 2.4. Our fourth rectangle starts at 2.4. The height is going to be as tall as the graph, f of 2.4. So notice that the left-hand corner touches the graph, and the width is another 8/10 away to 3.2. If I take 2.4 and add 8/10, it gives me 3.2. Our fifth and final rectangle is also as high as the curve. So again, you'll notice that left-hand corner touches the curve, and the width is 8/10. So if I take 3.2 and add 8/10, it gives me 4. So to find the area of all 5 of those rectangles, it's going to be the width times the length. The width is fixed. That's 8/10. The height, or the length, is going to be f of the left side of the rectangle. So our first interval is at 0, so the height is going to be f of 0. The second rectangle, we want to find the height or the vertical length at 8/10, so it's going to be f of 8/10. And continuing on, we have f of 1.6 plus f of 2.4 plus f of 3.2. So the correct answer is going to be D,